Now, of course, we had the chance to speak to the Tadawul CEO first on CNBC. Let's listen into what he had to say.
If we take the announcement last night, the Saudi equity market represents 2.6% of the total emerging market of MSCI, and that out of the 1.9 billion, that's around 45 billion US dollars. So this is the weight of the Saudi market out of the emerging market and MSCI. You know, that pool has both active and passive investors. We anticipate the passive investors to be around 25 to 30%. So the guaranteed inflows of cash will be around, we forecast it to be around 10 billion US dollars. And the remaining is the active side. You know, active investors comes usually before, during, and after the inclusion, and not necessarily follow the plans of the inclusion. So out of that, this is the size of the Saudi market represented in the emerging market, guaranteed inflow of passive fund of 10 billion, and we will work very hard with the active investors to attract the remaining investments or weight of Saudi.
In terms of what's happened in the last couple of years in Saudi Arabia, this MSCI emerging market inclusion is all part of this fast track toward getting this Aramco IPO. Can you give us your thoughts on what happens next there in terms of the timeline? Because you're saying that this is all about getting ready for that IPO. What kind of valuation can we expect?
So, as we always say, the inclusion itself is not directly related to a particular listing. So if we take Aramco, but however, it will help. Aramco helped attract extra eyes by investors to the Saudi market, of course. The reforms have attracted the rest of investors. It will add a lot on the capacity of the Saudi capital markets. You know, in the last 3 months, we have last night MSCI, last March FTSE, and we hope by end of this year we'll have S&P as well. All of these will add capacity, and of course would help our efforts to increase the IPOs pipeline, including the Aramco IPO. The valuation, it will depend basically on the information will be released by the financial advisors and the
oil price, of course.
Of course.
Well, that was the CEO of the Tadawul speaking to us first here on CNBC from Riyadh. And of course, the big question going forward is going to be whether or not this MSCI emerging market inclusion really is the signal that international investors have really been able to move beyond the speculation that we saw surrounding the Saudi market and Saudi Arabia in general after that Riyadh Ritz-Carlton incident at the end of last year, and whether or not that's going to really be able to galvanize private sector folks here in the kingdom who've really been lagging behind in terms of the investment case scenario to get back into the market. Willem? Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.